You know how all those Andrew Tate clips out there are just him yelling crap? It's never really him actually just talking and having a conversation and sharing something. It's just him yelling. That's what gets people's attention, right? That's what immediately gets them, boom, hooked. Whoa, this guy's yelling. He must be saying something important or something or he must be mad at somebody. And this is everywhere. People yelling into microphones and screaming out motivation. Do your 20 push-ups, right? But the question is, does yelling actually do something? Does it get them to do something? Does it lead men to do something? Or does it just startle them? Does it just startle you? That one TikTok, that one YouTube short of Andrew Tate yelling, you're like, oh, man. And then you go back to scrolling. Oh, man, he might be right. And then you go back to scrolling. So yelling gets attention, right? But calm gets respect. Anyone can shout, right? I can yell at you right now if I want. But I don't have to, and I don't. I don't usually. Real power is when you can speak softly and still be heard. Because everyone knows, man, this guy's got something to say, even though he's not yelling. A great two people to compare when it comes to this is Jesus and Satan. I'd say this is the greatest or one of the greatest examples for this here. So Jesus, he didn't scream, he didn't rage, he didn't manipulate or deceive. He spoke with peace, truth, and clarity, right? And lots of people dropped everything to follow him. He wasn't yelling. Maybe he would raise his voice so that everyone could hear him, but that's not yelling. And he didn't yell to prove he was right. He wasn't like, hey guys, I'm right. He showed that he was right. He lived right. But Satan, on the other hand, loud, chaotic, manipulative, he doesn't guide. He tempts and deceives and distracts you, right? That's very tricky ways of getting you to do stuff. He leads you with noise and confusion and empty promises. Yelling. Hey, come over here, I have this thing for you. And then you come over and you're like, oh my gosh, what is it? What is it? What is it? Oh. Or you're like, oh, it's so cool, and then it's horrible 5 minutes later. Let's say he sells you some really good French fries that he says are really nutritious, and then it ends up giving you diarrhea for a week. That doesn't sound good. So Jesus speaks the truth once, right? And it echoes throughout eternity. We have his words. And Satan just tries to grab people like, hey, I have lies for you, and hopes that it sticks. Calm is divine, chaos is demonic. In the Bible, did God ever yell at anyone? Was he like, hey, blah, blah, blah? No, he was like, you, come here, right? If you do something wrong and your parent comes to you and says, come here now, is that scarier than come here now? Which one's scarier? The soft yet firm voice? The soft and stern voice? Or the loud, booming, yelling voice? Which one's scarier? Which one's more authoritative? The soft one, the quieter one, the soft, authoritative voice. So let's look at some other examples here if you're not already convinced that speaking softer but with conviction is better than just yelling. Adolf Hitler, he screamed. His followers feared him and his empire eventually burned. Have you seen any of his speeches or like short clips of his speeches? He's just like, ah, rah, right? He's just yelling at him. Alexander the Great, he led with presence and precision. His men fought for him out of loyalty and not fear. He probably spoke in a calm and stern voice instead of yelling. Martin Luther King Jr., he's a really good one. He spoke softly. He spoke with a stern voice, and he moved nations. Calm, composed, and unshakable. That's a man that did stuff right. No violence, no nothing. And let's go back to Alexander the Great. He ruled longer than Hitler. He may have been not so good in some ways, but he still ruled longer than Hitler. Loudness does not equal power. Control, clarity, and calm does. And yes, there's a time to raise your voice when it is earned. But if you're always yelling, you've already lost the room. The loudest man in the room is often the weakest because he has stuff to hide. Do you think a man that talks in a normal tone but sternly with passion in his voice, not yelling, you know what I mean? Kind of like this. Do you think he has anything to hide, any weaknesses? I don't think so. But does the guy that's yelling do you think the guy that's yelling does? Probably more than the other guy. So you don't have to be loud to be heard. You don't have to yell to lead. You need to be solid, clear, and disciplined. Let your calm be the storm, and let your presence shake the room without even a single word. Remember that the path to heaven feels like hell, and the path to hell feels like heaven. Choose one path and stick to it. You can't go in the middle because that's where all the stupid people are. Eventually you got to pick one side or the other because there's only two places you can go in the end. I love you, bro.